Come with me on a solo trip to Edinburgh, Scotland. I didn't film anything in the airport because I was running so late, like criminally late. I got to the airport at 9:30 and the boarding gates closed at 9:45. It was a miracle that I made it, honestly. Anyways, I took the tram into the city and then I went to my hostel to check in. And my hostel was actually, it was a 30 bed, so 30 of us sleeping in one room, which is kind of crazy. I've never done anything like that before. But I checked in and then I walked around Victoria Street, which like has a bunch of shops. And then I walked down to Princess Gardens. And then this here, I walked over to Dean's Village after. It's like this cute little waterway and just a bunch of little houses right on the water. After Dean's Village, I walked back to Edinburgh's Old Town and I stopped into the Greyfriars Kirkyard, which was actually this graveyard, but say like where J.K. Rowling got her inspiration for like the names and stuff, like Tom Riddle is in this graveyard, so I went to see that, which is kind of interesting. Friday morning, I got up early and I went to see the Edinburgh Castle. The views from the castle were so cool because you could see the old town and the new town, and you could actually see the water from here, which was kind of surprising. I didn't realize how close it actually was. There's also really pretty views of Arthur's Seat from the castle, which you can see over here is the hills in the distance. After I left the castle, it actually started pouring and it was freezing, so I had to go buy a hoodie. After that, I stopped into the National Portrait Gallery, which is here to get out of the rain for a bit, and then it was totally sunny after I left, after like 20 minutes. So I walked Circus Lane, which is this like curved street with really pretty views. I recently binged the series One Day on Netflix. If you know, you know, but it was filmed in Edinburgh and a lot of it was filmed on these steps right here, and there were actually girls like on the steps like reenacting scenes from One Day for a TikTok, so I thought that was really funny. I then walked up Calton Hill to get another view of the city and it started raining, again, no surprise, but it was gorgeous. You could see the water from up here too, and there was actually a beautiful rainbow like right over the water. Okay, I took these videos, I'm not kidding, like 15 minutes later, and it was totally sunny, like barely any clouds. I don't think I could live here because I really couldn't deal with the weather, but it was so beautiful. And this is Victoria Street, the street with all the shops that inspired Diagon Alley in Harry Potter, actually. Saturday morning I got up and I was on a mission, okay? I was determined to see Highland cows. So I took the bus out of the city, walked through some random Scottish neighborhoods, and then I found the farm. And first look, there they are! Oh my god, they were so cute, like I was obsessed. They literally just stood there. They were so unfazed, they could care less. This one's just chowing down. It was awesome. These girls had some food, so they were feeding the one guy and he like came up to the fence. But they were so cute. And I actually pet one. I was a little nervous about it, but they were like chill, they didn't care. I could have stood there all day, but my hands were starting to freeze, so I actually had to take the bus back to the city. And then Saturday evening, I decided to treat myself, and I went to a movie at the Scotsman Picture House. And I actually went to see Mamma Mia, which I love that movie. But there were so many cute like little Scottish moms and grandmas because I think it was like Mother's Day in Scotland. And so I had a ton of fun. I loved it, and I was really glad that I went. Anyways, that was my solo trip to Edinburgh. Thanks for coming with. Bye!